difference between life and death is but a single stroke. I live for them too! This is who we are, my friend! This is all we are! Ala Mhigo and Doma and Golemol be damned!
Hello cats and kittens, MamaCatGamer here with another installment in G'av Tia's adventures through Eorzea. We are in the Stormblood expansion. We're nearing the end of it. We got into the final zone last time. And so I've got a instance quest coming up. And I'm going to pick up these blue quests right here. Betha seeks your aid. Adventurer, I need your aid in saving the souls of the dead. Pray excuse me, that sounds more dramatic than I intended. My name is Betha, by the way. You've probably heard how the Empire took great pains to quash the religions of this land for fear of the appearance of primals, but the Imperials even went so far as to forbid the harmless ceremonies folk performed to honor their fallen. As a result, the Locks are now haunted by a host of restless shades who were denied their last rites. And sadly, brute force is the only way to banish them. I spend such spare time as I have sending these spirits on to the next world, but there is only so much one woman can do. Any aid you could offer would be greatly appreciated. That's kind of sad, isn't it? You will find many an unquiet specter roaming the tombs to the northeast. Pray, send them on to their final rest. Anytime you suppress the ability to celebrate or mourn the great events of life, births and deaths, marriages. When you suppress that, it really has a profound effect on people. So it's important to keep those kinds of things alive, however you celebrate or mourn those situations. It's the importance of people coming together to celebrate or grieve together. So when you get the opportunity, go participate in those. It's well worth the time. Even if it's mourning, going to somebody's funeral. It's important to have that family support there and friend support. MamaCatGamer's life advice for today. It's a zoo out there. Munafreed seeks a seasoned adventurer for an important task. Captain Tia, you are well known for your deeds as a soldier. On this day, however, I would call upon your broad experiences as an adventurer. As for the situation at hand, it would seem that part of our patrol route has been claimed as territory by a fearsome zoo nestling. Yet we cannot simply choose to circumvent the area, lest we risk providing an unobserved entry point for Imperial scouts. My men and I will gladly go toe-to-toe with any military opponent, but nothing in our training has prepared us to combat a foe which can soar through the ravines and swoop down upon us with impunity. My comrade here almost lost his arm to such an attack, and I fear it is only a matter of time ere the creature makes a kill, unless you kill it first. The nestling surveys its domain from a narrow pillar of rock to the northeast. Pray, find this predator and end the threat to our patrols. All right. We're about ready to have an instance quest. I'm going to take some quick time to talk to these. I saw the leaders of the lands were here. Mervib says, "It is no small feat that we brought with us the main battery from the Triumph. You should look forward to the show." Looking at all these brave men and women in uniform from all across Eorzea, none can accuse us of being an alliance in name alone. Yeah, there you go. Kane Senna says, "So many lives lost, so much blood shed, but it will not be in vain." Keeper of the Entwined Serpents. "Not since Cartano have we gathered in such numbers, but this shall be much, much different." Yeah, you want to have a dragon trying to eat your face. Emmerich says, Hilda and her watch will keep Ishgard safe in my absence. You know I would not miss this for the world, my friend. Lucia says, although I have briefed our officers on Garlean tactics and Magitech design, I cannot say with confidence it will be of much use. Zenos has employed unorthodox strategies before, and I know little of these new prototypes. Well, anything helps. Raban says, I swore I'd return with an army one day, and here we are. We're almost home. Pippin, he of the can barely see over the table fame. Father has dreamed of this day for nearly half his life. Just one more step. Arnvald says, if there's a chance we can rescue Kryl, I want to be involved. I owe her that much. Tia, the end is in sight. It's been a long time coming. Jamoldva, a storm of blood approaches fast. Hell's open. Heavens weep. Menagerie? Mefford told me about your place. Mefford told me about your time in Alagana, how a certain someone gave you a piece of his mind when you first met. Try not to hold it against him. Whiskar says, we couldn't have had more than a few days training when the Imperials attacked the Reach, but I've seen my share of combat since. I may be no hero like you, but I can hold my own against Imperial regulars. You'll see. Elfino says, come on, Cryo. Or hold on, Cryo, we're coming. Ingrid says, had I judged it possible to rescue her myself, I would have, but there were too many guards, too many ways it could have ended badly. I knew at once I would need your help. All right, we're going to go ahead and do this. I'll try and narrate the important things along the way. If not, I'll add them in as captions later. If I miss something along the way, which is possible, because, you know, when you're fighting, it's hard to keep everything in your head. This one I will do on Reaper, actually. Okay. Sure, I got everything I got recommended gear on. Okay. Let's not waste any more time, then, shall we? My mom said Granddad kept the key with him at all times as a lucky charm. If he hasn't got it, then, well... Then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Ready, Gav? We may have to deal with a few Imperial patrols, or worse. Alright, level sync is in effect. We are synced down to level 70. Saltery's not far. Follow me. Okay, we're gonna follow Whiskar. Alright. Alright, we're gonna keep following him. We keep following Whiskar. We're here, but this isn't right. Where is everyone? Word of the Alliance's advance has surely reached their ears. Aha! Let's go check in here. Crumbling masonry appears to have lain undisturbed for some time. Oh, let's go check these shiny things. Aged barrel. Appears to have been recently filled with fish packed in salt. Someone has been hard at work less than a week ago. Pot is filled to the brim with salt from the locks. Ooh, piled lumber. Lumber appears to have lain undisturbed for some time. Please be all right. Must have gone to ground. Ah, queer device. Uh-oh. It's a trap! Alright, which one of you triggered the obvious trap? Alright, we need to save Whiskar, so let's go do that.
Ready?
Away with you!
Tancred says, which one of you tripped the obvious trap? It is helpful to stay on the opposite side of this enemy. Now then, where were we? Ah, yes, looking for clues as to the whereabouts of the erstwhile water merchant and his key. Alright, we have Whiskar's vitality is 100 out of 100. In the wake of the ambush, you find a diary belonging to a laborer. The last entry makes mention of a plan to take shelter in the Sali Monastery. Sali Monastery? That's to the south. I'll lead the way. Alright. Not after that ambush, you won't. It's too dangerous. G'av, we'll follow you. Keep your eyes peeled for more Magitech. Alright. The Sali Monastery is down this direction. Okay, and we are up here, so we're going to kind of go in a southeasterly direction. Hopefully we can avoid some enemies along the way. Hug the wall. Y'all coming? Please tell me you didn't go fight that guy. We gotta keep Scar alive. Okay. think... Pretty sure... No, we might be able to get around this guy. So if you want to fight, you know, if you need the XP, go for it. But if you don't, that's fine. The monastery is just past that gate. Keep going. Let's see if we can get by this guy. Alright, we are not going to be able to get around this dude, because he's, like, right in the way. But we are going to come around so we can... something tall, dark, and imperial seems to be blocking the entrance. God damn it, I don't think there's a way around. And we'll just have to go through it. Look, I think those two devices are shield generators. I will keep the machine occupied. G'av, be a good chap and destroy the generators before it rips my head off. So we want to take the generators down first. That he's not really killable until then. Okay, we get stacks of vulnerability up. I don't know if those are cleansable or not. He won't be getting up after that. Now, let's find our man. This is the destination here. This is it. This is the monastery. They have to be around here somewhere. What? What? It's me, Whiskar, your grandson. Whiskar? By Rauger, is that really you? Oh, it's good to see you alive and well, lad. But who are these other ones? Whiskar says, the Resistance, Granddad, my comrades in arms. She told you all about me thumbing my nose at the Mad King, did she? Daft sods never caught me, neither. It wasn't much, but it was my way of rebelling against his rule. Glad to see you've got higher aspirations. Here, make your family proud. Whiskar says, I will, I swear. Rauger is my witness. What does Thancred say? The revolutionary spirit runs in the family, I see. Alfino says, we should go. Arenvald and the others are waiting. Whiskar says, I'll make him proud. I'll make them all proud. Watt says, if I were 10 years younger, but I'm not. Look after my grandson. Alright, I'm going to switch over to Viper so I can get the XP. It's raining and I got my my Loperate umbrella here. I was worried when he wasn't at the Saltery, but we found him in the end. Obviously, Lise, obviously. Oh my gosh. Sometimes they write her so dumb. All right. I mean, she's got to have a little more intelligence to be able to run a, city-state at some point. Or run the resistance, at least. Lee says, now that we've got the key, it's time to find that underwater tunnel. Okay. Turban's probably the best looking of that bunch. Okay. Lisa's in the mood for a swim. We'll need to dive into the locks and look for a tunnel leading beneath the residential district. That should be no problem for Gav and me thanks to the Kojin's blessing, but for the rest of you... Ingrid says, I will have you know that I can hold my breath for 10 minutes. Elfino says, I think it best that I support Minago and Arenvald's unit. Oh, right, you can't swim. Thanks for making him feel worse, Lise. Thanks for making him feel worse. I am aware of that, thank you, but it is neither here nor there given that I lack both the Kojin's blessing and Thancred's preternatural lung capacity. Right, of course, I didn't mean anything by it. Nothing at all. So, Gav, Thancred, and me, let's head to the water's edge. Elfino and Whiskar can rejoin the others and wait outside the gates for us to let them in. Does Watt have anything else? We're 10 years younger, but I'm not. Look after my grandson. Alright. You know what? While we're around here... Oh, 53 yalms to the southeast. Aha! Good thing I hit that before I went anywhere else. Or I would have been traveling all over BFE to find the darn thing again. That would have been a pain in the neck. I wonder what's back here. I don't know if I've ever been back here. Well, let's go find out what it's like, what it is. Dark of lasting cumber. Okay. Alright, we have to go back that way. And 27 yalms to the north. We'll pick it up another time. This is kind of a cool view. I wish I could see it better if it wasn't raining. Anyway, yeah. As soon as you're done with this cutscene, you just come over to this window here, right? And that ether current will be right there. Okay? And then you can jump back up over again. I am so glad I clicked that thing. I hate doing back running. This just annoys me. So, yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to do it. Alright, Thancred says, you'd be surprised what skills an urchin can pick up in a city of pirates. A knack for selling fine leather waistcoats being one. Thancred, I didn't know you were in into leatherworking. Although that shouldn't surprise me somehow. Alright. I'm so glad we talked to these other characters. This looks like as good a place as any. Ere you dive into the briny deep. Ooh, it's Urianger. Urianger, what are you doing here? Master Alphino informed me of your plan, and thus did I hasten to your side. Okay, Master Alphino told me what you were up to, and I rushed here. When Mistress Alize unfolded to me the tale of her defeat, I was much intrigued by the apparent ease with which Fordola, a theretofore unexceptional warrior, defied my lady's every attempt to do her harm. Okay, when Mistress Alize told him how she got defeated, he thought it really interesting that Fordola was able to do that so easily, and since she's an not too hot a fighter, and he wanted to know how she managed to accomplish that. After some few days of deliberation, I subsequently contrived that what I believe to be a solution to the problem of her preternatural prescience. 'Twas in hopes of furnishing you with the fruits of my labors that I came. So after thinking about it for a few days, I came up with what I think is the solution to the problem of her unnatural abilities. So I came here to tell you about it. So, I'm the Urianger channeler here. And Gab just goes, yeah, okay, whatever you say, man. Lee says, wait, isn't that Moon Breda's? Her etheric siphon formed the basis for my design. Should my hypothesis prove correct, you need but activate it in her presence. To say more would endanger the plan, for ignorance is your shield. Okay, so, I'm not sure why ignorance is my shield, but okay. So, to translate, for those of you who don't speak Urianger, Moon Breda's ether siphon was his pattern for the design there. And if his theory is correct, you only have to, turn it on in Fordola's presence. To say anything more would endanger the plan, because ignorance is bliss. I don't know why ignorance is my shield, but Urianger has ways of knowing these things. He's supposed to be kind of like a foreseer. Urianger says, it was Moon Breda's time. It is not yours, my friends. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal and return. We will, for you and for her. Right, I'm going in. Follow me. I don't remember. It's, I think it's Control Spacebar. Now, this is kind of a cool area down here. They put some thought into this. Also, you can mount your mount. You'll go a lot faster. So I'm gonna do that. It's like a flooded, city, almost. Hi, kitty. You're stepping on my cord. It's just a really neat kind of place. Hey, buddy. Hi. Forgot how far down we have to go to get to it. Yeah? Oh, we have to go up a little bit. I went down too deep. Oh, okay, come on. Come on. Come on up. He's here. Hi, buddy. Gonna be my cuddle bug again today. Right. For anybody new to the channel, this is Jake. It's my 15-year-old pussycat. Got him when he was a kitten. He was about 6 weeks old and a little ball of orange tabby fluff. He was really adorable. Yeah, you're such a good kitty. Alright, Lise is gonna talk to us underwater. Tunnel leads east. Thancred's already gone ahead. Let's not keep him waiting. Yeah, we don't want him to drown. I'm glad they put her there, because, you know, it would have been really hard to find this tunnel, because there's so much there to look at, right? Alright, we're gonna go up. Boy, huh? My good boy. Guess we're gonna go up to these stairs here. Ooh, 148 yawns to the east. Nearby. Oh, here's a vista, too. In order to supply Ala Mhigo with potable water, brine was channeled from Loxeld to the distilled. With the Empire's arrival, however, existing techniques were replaced with Magitech-based filtration systems, and the well was rendered obsolete and abandoned. Okay. Oh, does that feel good? Pressing into me. You're such a good boy. Yeah, you are. Choked you. Yeah? The tunnel was much longer than anticipated. I would rather not make the trip again if it's all the same to you. Whew, that was fun. Yes, yes, tremendous fun, says Thancred. Who needs a beastman's blessing anyway? He says, I still can't believe you managed to hold your breath the entire time. I felt like we were down there for hours. Anyway, it's time we let our friends in. Once we head up these stairs, we'll need to make our way to the main gates, which are somewhere to the west of here? Thancred says, forgive me for stating the obvious, but it bears repeating that until we open the gates, we three are on our own. It would be in our best interest to avoid guards and easily startled small folk. Obviously, but once our guests have arrived, we'll be free to head towards the research facility where Cryal's being held as loudly as we like. He says, since you've been here before, will you lead the way? Thancred says, of course. But I will move quickly, so see that you do not fall behind. Nothing left to say then. Let's get to it. Alright, we got another instance quest here. So. Alright. All set, Gav. Let's do this for I like the self-heals on Reaper. You love having your head scratched. Follow my lead. Stay close and quiet. Wait, patrol. Let them pass. She did things with her tongue you wouldn't believe. I'll introduce you to Temple of Savage, you sick bastard. My goodness. Okay. Sentry, get to cover. I will deal with him. We're gonna stay with Lise. Master Mabani's fallen. There's nothing to stop them from marching on the city. All part of the Viceroy's plan, probably. And none were the wiser. Let us press on. Imperial soldier dead ahead. Ah, we are. One more sentry. Give me a moment. Snore. Pleasant dreams. G'av, look for a lever or a winch. We will guard the rear. Well, fortunately it's over to the right here. Gate winch. Hell's open, heavens weep. Elfino, can you hear me? The gates are open. Our friends are ready and eager to engage the Imperials. Then let us leave them to it and head for the facility. We're gonna follow Thancred. Remember the reach, remember the towers, attack! Oh, thanks, you get to jump over the rocks and I can't. Insurgents, here, sound the alarm! We're gonna attack the one attacking us first, and then grab the other ones. Let me get rid of the Reaper attacking us first. Hold on, Cryo, we're coming. Let's get out of that stuff. The Resonatorium is just ahead. They know we're coming. Make ready, my friends. I reckoned you lot would come. But I didn't think you'd have the nerve to break the bloody doors down. Makes no difference to me, though. Time to die. Use the Aetheric Siphon to weaken Fordola and defeat her in battle. We have to wait until she has Resonant status to use the item.
I can read your every move.
Okay. So whenever she has the resonant buff is when you hit that resonant skill. Plan B. Okay. We want to get out of that.
How could I lose?
Okay, we're gonna hit it again. Enemy is sighted. Engage with the commander. With me. Thancred, help me hold off those soldiers. Understood. We leave the pilots in your capable hands. So it's to be the two of you after all.
If only you knew the power!
She's gonna take care of him.
No. Not after everything. I cannot lose. I will not!
Oh, but you will! Without your tricks, you're nothing! Conrad, Mefrid, your own comrades! I should kill you here and now for what you did! But there's no place for that kind of justice here. Not in my Ala Mhigo.
Oh, how very bloody noble of you. Why, you'll pardon me my sins, will you? After you and your freedom fighters come and tear down everything we've worked so hard to build? We were fighting for our people's freedom.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
Now, my friend!
Let's go find Cryle.
Cryle!
Alphana? I knew you'd come.
Yep.
Touching as this moment is, it will have to wait. We should rejoin the main force at once. Lise!
Stop playing with your food.
Taking her back with us, alive. She's going to answer for what she's done.
Listen to you, talking like you've already won. Zenos is gonna tear you apart. He commands a power echoing that of the icons.
What are you talking about?
The hunt, you stupid cow. I'm talking about the hunt. He said you'd come, and here you are, his willing prey. You and your friends are dead, just like mine. And all our misery, all our sacrifice, it was all for naught!
No! You're gonna live long enough to see us win our freedom. I promise you that.
May I live 1,000 years.
Interrogations can wait. Let us be off.
Yay, we rescued Kryl. All right. I'd speak with Alphino. Kryl says, they used medicines to keep me in a torpor for much of the time. I fear I am still recovering from their effects, but I will be fine. I will. Kind of like kept her in a coma for a long time. Thancred says, saved once more by Urianger's ingenuity. I look forward to learning why it was so imperative that we remain ignorant of the device's precise function. Yeah, you and me both. Let's switch back to Viper to collect our reward. What a relief to have finally found her. Though our greatest challenge yet lies ahead of us, on the eve of this final battle, I find myself overcome with joy. We could not have saved her without everyone's help. Thancred, Lys, Urianger, and of course you. But yes, there is still much and more to be done. I should be very interested to learn the meaning of Fordola's ominous words, for one. These are not the most attractive. Do you have anything new? Alphino is a man with one less worry on his mind. A big one less worry. Lys has gone to deliver Fordola into the custody of the Alliance, leaving Menagerie and her men to hold the residential district and stand ready. Once the Alliance has breached the main gates and commenced their assault, the Resistance forces will push through the entrance here and join the fray. Thancred says, in that case, I will remain here. My search for Kryl took me into the city proper, and my familiarity with their defenses may prove useful to the Resistance. Alphino says, understood. I shall instruct Arenvald and his unit to render support as well. They were tasked with securing the Aetherite, as I recall. With me, G'av. Do you have anything else? Brave though they may be, these freedom fighters will need every advantage if they are to defeat their oppressors. I will do what I can to tip the odds in their favor. I have no doubt you will do that. Nothing if not capable. Otis says, that went better than expected, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Huskar. Looks like it wasn't my day to die. I owe you one, Mephrid. Menagerie? Can you believe it? Not only did we secure the residential district, but we captured Fordola. Wait till the Flame General hears about this. Good for you. Tilda says, I do wonder just what will become of us. We've been under Imperial rule for over 2 decades. What are we supposed to do now? You know what? I forgot to grab that ether current. 74 yalms to the west. Out. Right there. All right. Manfred said, "Living's hard enough as it is." Yeah, well, yeah, can be. Plan is set. Sometimes this place is like super confusing. There's still much work to be done, but I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to get Ala Mhigo back on its feet. Aha! Here's our Aetherite. We're going to attune to that before we do anything else. Ariel says... Ah, right, you're not from around here. Can't imagine what call you'd have to chat with me, but by all means, if you've got something to ask away. What do you do here? Putter about and try to keep my head down like all the other peregrines. That's what some of the Garleans call us on, means foreigner or some such. Can you believe that? I'm a foreigner in my own bloody homeland. Well, they'll get what's coming to them soon enough. Can't keep kicking a woman while she's down and expect her to just take it. Mark me, a storm of blood approaches. Alright, what kind of place is this? This here's the Ala Mhigo Quarter. A residential district in the newest bit of the capital. Though, don't misunderstand, new doesn't mean good or anything like that. The closer you live to the royal palace, the more favored you are. So we poor bastards who the Garleans forced to live all the way out here are the lowest of the low. Not more than chattel in their eyes. Aye, we are only fit for manual labor in the eyes of the Imperials. Poor as dirt, expendable. Who's to mourn if we get crippled or die doing dangerous work, eh? But we won't be broken so easily. Oh no. We're far stronger and more stubborn than they realize, and when the time comes, there will be a reckoning. Alright, let's go unlock the Chocobo Keep. Not that I really think I'll ever use it, but it's always good to have. Jamoldva says, "It is far, far too early to celebrate. Zenos is not finished with us yet. Tia? Kral is safe and the Ala Mhigo Quarter secure. We could not have hoped for a better outcome." Alfino says, "This Aetherite is perhaps the most strategically located landmark here, as it can serve as a gateway for attuned troops with sufficient anima. Such tactics are not without their risks, however. Were the Imperials to discover that the Aetherite was being used in such a fashion, they might turn their artillery upon us, destroying the beacon in the better part of the district at the cost of countless civilian lives. Thanks for cheering me up there, Alfino." Kral says, "I don't know what had become of Arenvald and the others after I was taken. It's such a relief to see them hale and hearty." Arenvald says, "Gods, Kral, it's so good to see you. I feared the worst." Kral says, "It wasn't your fault. You saved me, all of you. Thank you." Alfino says, "We will be departing shortly for Porta Praetoria to rejoin the main host. Arenvald, I would have your unit remain here with Thancred that you might support the resistance troops in the coming battle." "Understood. We won't let you down." Alfino says, "I trust you will refrain from doing anything I would not." "We are both far too young to die." Right. No noble sacrifices. Got it. There's a lot that people would do that Alfino never would. Just because he's a teenager. Gav, Cryo, let us be off then. Do you have anything else for us? Thank the 12, she's all right. I don't know what I would have done. Oh, we gotta speak with Raubon. Okay. 646 yalms to the west. Ah, there you are. Hiding in plain sight. All right. We have unlocked all of those. Defeat specters. Okay, let's go back to the north. Salt Anila. Oh, if I remember, it was like somewhere up here. Okay. I have no idea how to get up there. Oh. Okay. I see. Try not to fall. A long way down. Aha. There we go. I think those specters are in that cave there, so let's go do that. How am I supposed to get there? Alright, this is gonna confuse me, but alright. Aha! We did it. So, out here, if you aren't able to make that jump, right? Because it's not the easiest. This is how you would get into this area. Alright. Come out to the beach, down here in the bottom. And, it's in this, I don't know, this kind of weirdo area here. Go back in. I gotta get like 2 more of these things. I recall getting very lost in here one time. Looking at the little mini map up here. Aha. You discover a new location. Okay. Let's go back to Port of Pretoria. Your efforts will be felt, adventurer. When this land was yet under the yoke of the Empire, my own father lost his life in the fight for freedom. But although our conquerors permitted me to build him a gravestone, they would not allow me to perform his final rites as the teachings of the Fist of Raugr demanded. It was later that I heard how a ghostly apparition was seen floating near his grave. I should have performed the ceremony, and the Empire's laws be damned. I should have had more courage, but I was so afraid to die. Ashamed at the cowardice I showed then, I began seeking out other shades and specters to put to rest. It is a seemingly unending path, and I thank you for walking even a few steps of the way alongside me. Munifred says, the nesting is slain then? I knew I had chosen the right man for the job. I'm grateful you came along before any lives were lost to that monstrous bird. You have our thanks. Well, apparently the other guy got better. Not sure.
Ah, the heroes of the hour. Not content with securing the residential district, you gifted me an Imperial commander. What are you after, a medal?
The work is its own reward, General. I must say, however, that Fordola's claims were not a little disturbing. What manner of power could Zenos have acquired that might equal an icon?
Might she speak of our missing Omega?
Very possibly. The Empire's fondness for comparable Allagan technologies is exceedingly well documented. Have we made any progress with our own investigation?
None. The search goes on in earnest, but Sid has thus far found nothing of note. Mayhap the Garleans beat us to it. If they were working desperately to repair the machine, that might explain their decision to remain within their walls.
Ah, Lise. I trust you surrendered Fordola into custody without incident. We were just discussing the pilot's claims.
About Zenos and his newfound powers. She hasn't said a word on the subject since we rescued Kryl. Even when the interrogator asked nicely.
Mayhap I can offer some insight into her claims. Or at least into the facility and the experiments they conducted during my time there. Though my memories of the period are somewhat muddled, there are a few things I remember with painful clarity.
Thancred told us only that Fordola had undergone some manner of treatment.
Yes. It is a place wholly dedicated to the creation of enhanced beings, whom they refer to as the Resonant. As I understand it, the process aims to imbue a test subject with the qualities of an individual with demonstrated magical aptitude. This entails the mechanical extraction and transfusion of some manner of primordial essence.
So that's how Fordola improved so fast. I knew there had to be something. She wasn't half as strong or quick to predict my attacks when we first met. If it weren't for Urianger's Siphon thingy, I really don't think we'd have beaten her.
My humble scheme asked far more in the execution than it required in the conception, I do assure thee.
Oh, you've got to stop doing that.
It just kind of appears out of nowhere. Let's see what he says. He says, my humble scheme asks for you to perform it. It asks far more of you to perform the, or use it than to, make it. So I do assure you.
In calling upon Lady Alisaie after her defeat, I was most intrigued to learn of the apparent effortlessness with which Fordola countered her attacks. 'Twas as if she knew the blade's destination ere its journey began.
Okay, so when I spoke to Alisaie after her defeat, I was very interested to learn of how easy it was that Fordola was able to, counter her attacks. It was as if Fordola knew where the blade would be before the journey, before she even started the attack.
A most impressive feat under any circumstances, but an almost miraculous one when considered in the context of Fordola's unfamiliarity with my lady's arts. How then could she so perfectly predict an unknown opponent's every move?
Because, that's like a pretty big deal in any circumstance, but it's almost miraculous when you consider how unfamiliar Fordola was with, using red mage techniques. So how could she predict, an unknown opponent's every move, basically?
After much deliberation, I surmised that Fordola may be possessed of a preternatural ability to divine meaning from the fluctuations of an individual's ether and to instinctively react. To employ a metaphor, one might say that she was attuned to the whispers of my Lady Alisaie's soul.
So, after I thought about it for a while, I figured out that Fordola must have figured it has some, unnatural, supernatural ability to get meaning, get understanding from the fluctuations of, someone's ether and to react instinctively to that. So, to use a metaphor, she was attuned to the whispers of Alisaie's soul.
Wait, have you not just described a manifestation of the echo?
I had no conclusive proof. The available anecdotal evidence suggested only that Fordola was uncommonly sensitive to etheric fluctuations, and 'twas this which led me to develop my stratagem.
Okay, I had no, sure proof. The anecdotal evidence, the story suggested only that Fordola was, unusually sensitive to the fluctuations in ether, and that was what led me to develop this strategy.
I would fashion a device with the capacity to generate a massive disruption in the surrounding ether. If, as I suspected, Fordola's senses were indeed questing for the most minor of oscillations, the shock of exposure to a more amplitudinous etheric waveform would be akin to a debilitating bout of ether sickness.
He said I would make a device that would be able to disrupt the ether massively, and if, as I suspected, her senses were indeed looking for the most minor of waveforms, oscillations in the ether, the shock of it being exposed to a greater or higher ether waveform would be a debilitating, you know, a bout of ether sickness.
How ingenious. I note that the success of your plan hinged on your device's wielder remaining ignorant of its purpose, lest Fordola divine your intent.
Indeed so, Master Alphino. All things considered, 'twas a most fortuitous outcome.
Oh, all things considered, it was a lucky end. It was a lucky guess.
That's putting it mildly. In any event, if Urianger is correct, that would mean these Resonant have been granted the power of the Echo via artificial means. A sobering thought, to say the least, and one which makes me wonder what else Zenos has in store.
You know, death, destruction, the usual.
Whatever the Viceroy's newfound powers, I know of none better equipped to face him. And face him you must. For there is now but one path forward, and it leads straight to Ala Mhigo.
And it's not as if we came unprepared. We've got all our friends and allies fighting for the same thing. Honestly, right now, I feel like we could take on anyone and win. And I mean anyone.
All right. We could say victory is as good as ours, or nevertheless, let us proceed with all due caution. G'av is not the most cautious of kitties. Victory is as good as ours.
Exactly. Oh, I wouldn't want to be in Zenos' boots. Not with the likes of us coming to get him. Right, I'd best get back to the residential district. Thancred and the Resistance forces are waiting.
It is time we join the main host. Kryl, in light of your recent ordeal, might I suggest that you remain with the rearguard for now?
Oh, if you insist. Just this once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she could, you know, use a rest. Raban, have anything else? As I said, there's but one path forward. We take Ala Mhigo, and with it, Zenos' head. Urianger, have anything else? I prithee proceed with the utmost caution, G'av. If there be truth in Fordola's words, and the Viceroy is indeed possessed of a power echoing that of the Icons, then still greater strength shall be required to bring about his defeat. Okay. Alright. Proceed with, I pray that you proceed with the greatest caution, G'av. If there's any truth in Fordola's claim that the Viceroy indeed has the power echoing that of the Icons, then even more strength will be required to bring about his defeat. Oh, I got a Scion Rogue's bandana. What's that look like? Alphino says, if I may, General, is there aught G'av and I can do to assist with final preparations? I can't talk to him there. I'm glad you asked. Pippin informed me moments ago that all forces are in position and that we are ready to commence the assault. Naught remains but to notify the Alliance commanders. If you've no objections, I should be glad to have you do the honors, G'av. You were instrumental in this to the success of Operation Archon. You helped bring an end to the Dragonsong War. You are a hero to the people and a symbol of hope. Some might judge it an empty gesture, or worse, a waste of your talents, but I know it would mean much to everyone here. Alright, does he have anything else? 'Tis one thing to hear the tales, another to look upon the man himself. Now it is the time to remind our comrades that they are not alone. Alright, does Alphino have anything else for us? The General makes a good point. The Warrior of Light's worth may be measured not only by what he does, but by what he inspires others to do. Lucia says, Zenos has never cared a whit for politics. He lives for war and war alone. Kill him, or he will kill you. She's not wrong. Emmerich says, that you should be the one to bring me word. By the Fury, it is good to see you, my friend. You, who stood with us in our direst hour, will ever be an inspiration to my countrymen and to me. Though Ishgard's debt can never be repaid, it is my hope that our deeds this day shall go some small way to redressing the balance. Anything else? Several times you defended our gates. Let us return the favor by demolishing theirs. I like it. The Elder Seer saw fit to grant me mercy at Cartno. Perhaps, if the opportunity allows, we may offer the same to my former comrades. But if not, then so be it. Kane Senna says, all is ready. Very well. Though many will fall in the coming battle, how many more shall know liberty for their sacrifice? There is a time for peace and a time for war. Even the matron understands this. We, who have received hers and the elemental's blessings, go now to stand for Eorzea and her children. Do you have any? Matron, forgive us for what we must do. Do you have anything else? Nope. Okay. It is rare these days that I'm granted leave to take the field. Mayhap I should have brought my mask. This pirate mask. The Admiral says, it's time then. Though this is not my theater of choice, we will play our part. Our cannons care not, either way. The battery has sunk enough fleet ships to fill a fleet. Does not like to be bested by a gate. Alright. Back to Rauban. Worry not for her safety. Look thee to the east. Alphino says, I have asked Urianger to look after Cryle. He will keep her out of harm's way. Though, after what she has endured, her physical well-being may be the least of our worries. It is done then? Thank you, G'av, for humoring an old bull. Maelstrom, Aether, and Ishgardian forces are in position, General. Serpent Officer says, Resistance forces in the Ala Mhigo quarter are ready and await our signal. Rauban says, naught left to do but the deed itself. Rauban has a personal favor to ask of you. Right then, I must go to my men. I shall be leading the first charge through the breach. Alphino says, then we shall head to the front. Pippin is command of our artillery outside the gate. He'll not be hard to find. But before you go, I have a final favor to ask. Give this to my son. He will understand. Okay. There's no need for explanations. When he sees it, he will know. Worry not for her safety. Look thee to the east. Oh boy. Alright, we got more blue quests here. Dorothée. Lieutenant Dorothée needs a soldier who knows how to swim. Great. Captain Tia, I presume I've spoken with members of the Scions, and if I may be so bold as to ask, is it true that you learned some Far Eastern technique for moving underwater as freely as a fish? Yep. Then it is not an exaggeration? Incredible. Would you be willing to put that ability to use for us? If so, I have an agent stationed underneath those towering steps by the lock who would dearly love to speak with you. Okay. There's another blue quest down there. I'm going to do these first so that we unlock We unlock flying as soon as we're done with the MSQ part. Urianger Tia. The troublesome task for an adventurer. You're G'av, aren't you? The famous soldier and adventurer? Might be that I'm asking above my station, but I could use your help with a bit of a problem. I've been tasked with rounding up a couple of nasty wavekin, and I have to admit to the fact that they're too much for me to handle. For a hero like you, though, I suspect they'd be not more than a spot of light exercise before dinner. Have you seen these monstrous yabbies crawling about south of the White Isle? I have some large hemp sacks you can use to drag them back here. Just be sure to tire them out a bit beforehand. Any fight left in them, and they'll rip right through the sack with those spiky tails of theirs. Great. This is always the hard part, because I'm, like, so over-leveled. That, you know, I have to, like, take off a bunch of gear and stuff like that. I killed them. Thinking I was gonna have to do that again. Ah, Captain Tia. Lieutenant Dorte said you might be on the way. You ready to get your boots wet, are you? I should probably begin from the beginning. One of our soldiers we captured during the battle at Castrum Abania was concealing a map on his person. The map was marked with a curious symbol, but no matter how hard we cajoled or threatened, the prisoner would not tell us the symbol's significance. This naturally piqued the curiosity of our commanders, and they immediately ordered a search of the marked area. Now, the problem is that the area mostly covers the water, and we found nothing of interest up above. Meaning this secret, whatever it is, must be down below. We are eager to, indeed, to enlist somebody with your apparent talent for underwater exploration. I've circled a spot on your map that we'd like you to investigate. If it turns out to be something you can bring back, pray do so. Be careful down there. Okay. Can't remember how far down it is. Ah, there it is. Anything of interest? An Imperial supply crate found sunk into the waters of Loch Seld. This looks like Imperial material crate. I doubt anyone would bother sinking ordinary supplies, but I say we take a look inside. Now it's breath, this thing's filled to the brim with gems and jewelry. From what I can tell, they all seem to be of Girabanian design. In fact, I'd say this collection is of damn near royal quality. The bottom of a lock is not where I'd choose to keep such materials, so it's safe to assume they were acquired in the less than honest fashion. Our prisoner likely hoped to hide them down there until his stint in the army was over. Rebuilding a country is an expensive job, eh? Ala Mhigo's royal family is no more, but we should return these to her citizens nonetheless. Thank you for braving these waters, Captain Tia. Pray report to Lieutenant Dorothée, and I'll see that this crate is transported safely back to headquarters. Alright, we're gonna go turn these quests in, and then, we will head down over to Measure of His Reach. Welcome back, Captain Tia. Was there aught to be found? Yeah. A whole bunch of goodies. A fortune in stolen jewelry, was it? That explains the prisoner's unwillingness to share. As my agent explained, we will see to it that those valuables are returned to Ala Mhigo's coffers. Thank you, Captain Tia. This will go a long way to helping the nation recover from the ravages of war. Alright. One more to go. Were you able to capture those yabbies for me? Yeah. An enormous sack stuffed with an ill-tempered yabby. It's bigger on the inside, right? Oh, these are some lively nippers. I'd best get them in a pen before they tear their way free. It's a good thing they're ill-tempered, though. Why is that, you ask? Well, just between you and me, we're planning on using the Yabbies as a secret weapon to disrupt Imperial military camps. I'd love to see the look on a Garlean officer's face to find one of these beauties running wild in his command tent. Thank you, G'av. I was growing tired of sewing up the holes in these gigantic sacks. Okay. Must prepare for every contingency. That sounds like something Alphino would say. Would seem our position here is secure. G'av, Alphino, What is that you've got there? Raubon's package. One can only imagine what this bulky package contains. By the 12, this is Tizona. The bull of Ala Mhigo's legendary sword, forged from 2 cursed blades. The sword is a symbol of everything my father fought to achieve, a weapon claimed on the blood sands, and with it fortune and glory. Its flames consumed the unworthy, but by fire was he reborn. That he would bequeath it to me now, to carry on his legacy. Well, I shall endeavor to deserve it, but I'll be damned if this is his final battle. Once we begin, there will be no respite until it's over. Are you ready, my friends? Very well. Brace yourselves. This should be quite a Vice Marshal, Imperial unit approaching from the north. Aiming to destroy our artillery, are they? How many? Total numbers unconfirmed, but at least 1 squadron. But, sir, they're wolfmen. Faradomite. Bloody hells, that's all we need. Call up the Bloodsworn. Tell them to make ready. Alphino says, Marshal Turupin, wait! These wolfmen of whom you speak hail from Doma. They were coerced into fighting for the Empire, spirited away to a foreign land and told that if they disobeyed, the lives of their kin would be forfeit. But their homeland has been liberated. They have no reason to continue serving their imperial masters. Ere you engage them in battle, I beseech you, grant us a moment to go and attempt to convince them to lay down their arms. Yep, we agree with this. Ibn says, I am loath to gift your enemy one more time to prepare, but if there is a chance that this conflict might be avoided, I suppose we must take it. Go then, but be quick. We will, Vice Marshal. With me, G'av. All right. Gonna go up the stairs and over to the left when we get towards the top. All right, make sure you have your food on. Make sure you're geared up. DPS is probably the easiest for this. Maybe tank. Healer is not as easy. Sorry, guys. Although you stay alive really well, it'll take a little longer. All right, we will wait here for the Lupin to arrive. Steel yourself, my friend. Though I hope to resolve this without resorting to violence, it would seem wise to prepare for the worst. They come, G'av. You clear the road. Honorable warriors of Doma, my name is Alphino Levailleur, and I come before you with news of great import. Silence, boy, you stand upon a battlefield. Be gone or be cut down. Doma is free. Lord Hien has returned and driven Yotsuyu and the Imperials from your lands. We were there, we helped them. There is no need for you to fight for Zenos. Lord Hien is dead, and you are a liar. What could a boy such as you do against Magitech? Throw stones and spit curses? Invoke my lord's name again at your peril. We will suffer no falsehoods. I speak only the truth. Put up your weapons, I beg of you. Let us speak as friends and not shed blood in vain. Pharaoh Domite Centurion says, if your claims were true, we would gladly sheathe our blades and embrace as brothers. Since they must surely be false, we would be traitors to accept our lives and those of our loved ones forfeit. Words are air. You will prove the truth of your tale on the battlefield or die in dishonor. Alright, whenever Alphino's carbuncle creates a circle, you want to try and stand in that. Helps with healing and buffing.
For the House of Levailleur!
Okay. You are no strangers to battle, that much is plain. I am the White, I am Hakuro, and I will be your opponent. Have at you. Till I am satisfied, we shall fight. Give me your all. On your guard, his strength far exceeds that of his brethren. Alright, we do not want to be in the center of that. So basically, stay out of those lines. Alright, we want to stay away from these wolf heads. Get away from the proximity a lot. That one's a little rough.
So it comes to this.
Thanks, dude, for putting those all down at one time. So be it. Moonstone Carbuncle, come. Stand within the Carbuncle's wards. They will grant you strength. Right. Yay. Duty complete. You fought with honor and restraint. You could have killed my men, and perhaps even me, but you did not. For this, I thank you. Warriors, brave and true, I pray you tell us of the battle for Doma's liberation. Alphino says we should be glad to do so. And he goes on. Lord Heian returned? Such joy this news brings us. But for Lord Gozetsu to perish and the keep's collapse, to be taken from us by such treachery, there is no justice. So we will say, eyes forward, Hakuro. He wished for no better death. You knew him well. Aye, he would not suffer us to mourn with so much undone. And so we will not. Duty comes before all. All Lupin shall know of Doma's liberation and of your part in it. When you breach the gates, we shall turn on the Imperials as one. With fang and claw shall we rip open the throats of our masters. This the White swears. Alphino says, thank you. When our war is ended, I am certain that your lord will help us to return you all to Doma. Hakuro says, such a curious thing, destiny, to see us meet with friends of Lord Heian in this distant corner of the world. But we shall not keep you. Your day is not yet done. Come, let us not keep our comrades waiting. We have a nation to liberate. All right. Cutscene.
You are returned. Were your negotiations with the Wolfmen successful?
Yep.
The one they called the White was receptive to our words once we told him of Doma's liberation. They withdrew behind the walls to inform their brethren. If the gods are good, no blood shall be shed between our peoples this day.
Hear, hear. Now, I think it's time we did something about those gates. Thaumaturges, forward! Give me hellfire! Give me Aetheric bloody inferno!
I like Pippin.
Now give me a curse and winter! Enough ice and snow to bury a behemoth! All cannons! Fire at will! Let no man say we neglected to knock!
It's a hell of a knock.
Damn that armor! We nearly had it!
Is that...
Yes, it is.
Bear witness, my Eorzean brothers and sisters. Doma has come to pay her debts.
Lord Heian! We will deal with the flying machines. Forward, my friends, for freedom and justice! You heard the man! All cannons resume firing!
We're through. The way is clear.
Let's go. Banner shall not last much longer. Lucia says, the Vice Marshal's strategy for breaching the gates was most ingenious. A pity he did not account for the Magitech armor, but to be fair, they did not account for the Domans either. Emmerich says, by the Fury, did that man just bring down flying armor with a single stroke in midair? Yep. Yes, he did. Elvino says, you do not think he would actually wait until the last? No. No, of course not. He's no Vidofnir. And entrusting Pippin with Tizana. I've entrusted him with command of the flames. This time I fight not as general, but simply a soldier. Impeccable timing, these Domans. Come, comrades. The enemy's gate is down. Forward! At long last, the end is in sight. Stormblood. The battle for Ala Mhigo is at hand. All forces have been ordered to advance into the city proper. G'av, Alfino, may I ask you to be part of the first charge? Alfino says, "'Twould be our honor." Raban says, "I will join them, but as another soldier." Command of the flames I leave in your capable hands, Pippin. He says, I don't suppose we could come along too. Peace, Ironvald. He says, Nago and the others told me to go with you, G'av, to bring Zenos to account. For everyone. Ironvald says, I'm Ala Mhigo too, in case anyone's forgotten. My place is in the thick of it, and it doesn't get thicker than where you'll be. Let us sally forth then. Together we make for the royal palace, there to find and strike down Zenos. Right. Ala Mhigo now accessible. New regular duty has been added to the duty finder. Okay. The battle is joined. Give the order to advance. Yes, Lord Commander. Alfino says, not only the general, but Lys and Ironvald besides. The mission means everything to our friends. We must not let them down. Pippin said, as we fight our way through the city, the flames will also aim to reach Zenos. Godspeed, my friend. He says, this is it, G'av, the moment we've sacrificed everything for. Whatever it takes, we'll defeat Zenos and free Ala Mhigo. Ironvald says, just to be clear, I'm under no illusion that I'm as capable as the rest of you, but when it comes to strength of will, I'm the equal of anyone. Raban says, in entrusting Pippin with Tizona, I've entrusted him with command of the flames. This time I fight not as a general, but simply another soldier. Well, not really, but okay. eat another thing of food. Alright, we'll be there with Arnvald, Alfino, and Lise. Here we go. I think you actually may end up starting this in a slightly different place. If you're doing it with a party of lone NPCs.
With you.
Stand back, tossing a bomb. Commander Riki has cleared the way for us. Yep. We're gonna come over to the side here. But wait, there's more. Okay, thanks. Get out of these circles. They move with you. You want to try and pull them away. Eventually they stop.
Away with you!
Here it comes!
Away with you!
So, take them out to the side here. And get out of them. Ew, I got tagged with that one. Stay to the side here. Don't be in this, line attack thing. If you overlap them, even better.
Here it comes!
You enter the royal palace. This actually is pretty cool looking. Look, the others have made it in as well. We probably could go to the next group, but I don't know how good these guys are at.
Away with you!
I don't know how good these guys are at holding aggro and such.
Try this!
Here it comes!
Ah. Strand of hair poking me in the ear. This is driving me crazy. I want to keep them dotted up. Use all your AoE skills, so have fun. I want to stay out of that. Just like 7 of them stacked together. Alright. But wait, there's more. Ishgard, Ishgard.
Here it comes!
Right, they blew the door for us. Yeah. Alice Malacina. This is the guy who experimented on Cryo. I would have preferred to save that for the final boss, but okay. I'm gonna stay out of all the AoE circles.
I shall have to share these findings.
Take this!
Initiate soul extraction. Success.
Gotta get out of those circles. Those line attacks. Be between them. Your goal is to get back to your body.
The soul rebels. My word, this data.
He's like orgasmic about this. My goodness. Yeah. Impossible. Incredible. This is what just happened. We killed the bad guy. That's what happened. But wait, there's more. We're going to attack these laser fields. We gotta get both down before we can progress. The animations on Reaper are really cool looking. It's my avatar coming out of there. Voice-an avatar. Yeah, let's go grab the treasure coffer here. That's super annoying. I'm gonna take this guy out next. 2 tons match tech missile. Dude, when you want to focus these guys. Focus one at a time. Figure out which one really get out of that. Trying to figure out which the other two were attacking.
Here it comes!
Right, we're doing a good job staying out of the poop. Cutscene. Zenos looks so bored. All right. Treasure coffer down here that I don't think I've ever seen before, but okay. I'm gonna go and take out Zenos. I'm hoping we have enough DPS to do this. Sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's not. We want out of that. Oh, that could have killed me.
Let this moment last.
Here it comes!
Focus. Release.
Lightless spark. Okay.
Kill.
Concentrativity. We want out of that. Okay. Heart of the Storm, we want out.
Here it comes!
Friend.
Out of the Storm. And then out of...
This is the end. Show me your role.
To the House of Lemia! Away with you!
Yes! Yes!
Kill the swords. Get to kill him as quickly as possible. We're gonna go kill the one that they're killing.
Have you the strength? The power to transcend.
Yeah. Wait. Where's he going? Little snot. Hey. We have a cutscene, it's very important. Definitely want to watch this one.
Yes! Yes! Such ferocity. Such tenacity. I am loath to recall how disappointed I was when first we fought. But finally, after bathing in the blood and offal of your enemies, finally you prove yourself worthy prey for the hunt. It fills you even now, doesn't it? The hunger to bite down on my jugular. To feel the warmth fill your mouth and run over even as you drink deep. Good. Good. This is the beast I have longed to face. As you sharpen your claws, I too sought newfound strength. But this is no place for a final contest. Come! The heavens shall bear witness to our dance.
Love that smile.
Confound it.
But wait, there's more.
Go after Zenos, my friend. We shall deal with this.
Oh my. Zenos, how you've grown.
Welcome to the Royal Menagerie. The King of Ruin built this place for his foreign queen. He kept it filled with familiar creatures from her homeland. They bored me all. This fine specimen, on the other hand, is simply divine. Your fates are entwined, are they not, Icon Slayer? This dragon, this embodiment of unbridled despair, born of a desperate man's burning hatred for the Empire. How raw the raging tempest that churns within its breast. No myth made manifest this, but a being of pure violence. Mayhap you are the true architect of our design. You who fought the very soul of vengeance to the edge and watched him fall. You who let slip the Allagan hound to drive this icon into my arms. Oh my, have I said too much? Forgive me, this sensation is wholly unfamiliar to me. A question, then, and I should like very much for you to speak from the heart. If I were to stand aside, what would you do to this icon?
Gonna kill it, like he does all icons.
Ah, as simple as that. But of course, you are the Icon Slayer. Such certainty is to be expected. A pity. There is another alternative. Or there would be. Had you only mastered your ability.
Like we haven't?
I speak of the Echo, of course. Does it merely render you immune to iconic influence, or is it rather that your influence is far greater than theirs? Granted, these implications are of no moment to a savage who thinks only of killing the beast before him. But when I read Van Belsar's reports, I immediately saw the boundless potential of the Echo. I saw how it could be instrumental in binding an icon and one's will. Hence my research and the Resonant. I know so much more. All icons must be exterminated, without exception. Such was the Imperial mandate issued by my great-grandfather, after he saw firsthand the destruction wrought by one such being. They are a blight upon this star, he felt. And so he began his great and just crusade. Ha! 'Twas not justice which spurred his campaign, but fear! Fear of the icons! Fear of their power! Cowardice made them march forth to battle. Pathetic. Man should fight for the joy of it. To live, to eat, to breed. Lesser beasts snap and howl at one another for this. Only man has the wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake.
He is such a psychopath. Such a psychopath.
For we who are born into this merciless, meaningless world have but one candle of life to burn. I know you understand this. You and I are one and the same. Together, we could while away the quiet hours as friends and confidants, if you would accept me.
Sure, I believe that. Well, let's see what he says if he says I accept you.
Are we to embrace and let bygones be bygones? Do our deeds weigh so little that you would cast all aside? Come. 'Twas plain from the first how this would end. You live for these moments, when all hangs in the balance, when the difference between life and death is but a single stroke. I live for them too! This is who we are, my friend! This is all we are! Ala Mhigo and Doma and Garlemald be damned!
Uh-oh.
The gods! You by your gift, I by my might. And before the Resonant, the gods shall be made to kneel. Ending to mark a new beginning.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. I actually used lines from that scene, or the jugular line. I actually used it during our final battle with Count Strahd in Castle Ravenloft. I channeled Zenos for part of that embodiment of who my Count Strahd was, and it was magnificent. I loved doing some of those. Confront Shinryu in the Royal Menagerie. In the Royal Menagerie, you are greeted by a terrible sight, Shinryu, Ilburd's draconic god of vengeance, at the mercy of the Viceroy. Zenos fawns over the primal, which he proclaims a being of pure violence, and muses upon how instrumental you were in its creation and capture. You regard him silently as he proceeds to mock his great-grandfather's legacy while hinting at his own dark ambitions. Biding your time to strike. At last, he declares that all he has done, he did but for the joy of doing it, and that only man has the wisdom and the clarity to embrace violence for its own sake. As you have. This manifesto thus delivered, Zenos frees Shinryu from its restraints and cries out defiantly as it bathes you both in dragonfire. Unscathed, your foe rises into the air, uses his power as a resonant to merge with the primal, binding it to his will. As he towers over you, transformed, he glimpses Ilburd's final moments and declares this to be, quote, an ending to mark a new beginning, before taking to the air. Nor is he mistaken, for if you and your comrades do not stop Zenos and Galvus, no one will. Alright, we are going to queue. Alright, we got a pop here. I love this cutscene. It's just great. Yeah, he shoots stuff at the tank, so you kind of want to stay away from the tank if you're on any other class. We're gonna go over here to where the water is, 'cause that's gonna shoot us over. You want to run that away from the party. Oh, Hellfire, you gotta run into the water. Okay. Okay. We gotta kill these ads. Just gotta click that button real fast. You can also, like, face smash your keyboard. Just make sure your cursor is not in your chat window. This is some amazing music. Amazing. Oh, we gotta get out of that. Kill the tail. I'm gonna get out of the way of that. Kill the tail. See, he's broken the ground here. See how it's glowing? We want to get out of that too. I don't want to get squashed by his hand there. That'll be 3, yeah. All right, kind of a cutscene here. Oh, somebody gave me a player count. That's nice.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Never been better.
Zenos.
Don't know how he survived, but he did.
The hunter has indeed become the hunted. And yet, there is only joy. Transcendent joy that I have never known. How invigorating, how pure this feeling.
Is that what this was all about? All the meaningless death and destruction, so you could feel something?
It's kind of how it works with psychopaths. They don't feel things the same way you and I do.
Meaningless. Men die that others may live. Those who survive are stronger for it. Not that you could ever understand. to have stood upon this great stage of fools, to have played my part to perfection. Oh, this moment, let it be enshrined in eternity. My heart beating out of time, so clear, so vivid, so real, so real.
Coward!
Stop!
Farewell, my first friend. My enemy.
Whoa. Wasn't quite the way I was expecting that to go.
Where is he?
He's dead. By his own hand.
Then justice has been done.
Not really, but we'll take it.
No. There's no justice in that rabid animal's end.
Liberty or death. That so many should be forced to take up this creed to defeat such madness.
We won. Forget him. The living have need of us now.
Stand tall, Lys. Now is the time to raise a cheer for all who fought for freedom. A cheer loud enough to carry to the highest heavens.
You're right. Thank you. Without you, well, you know. So let's do it together. For Ala Mhigo! In crimson it began, and in crimson it ended. And then we were free. But what is freedom, really? We may be free to live, to love, to grow old, to have dreams and desires, and to strive for them. But in the end, we're defined by the legacy our forefathers bequeathed to us. Even Zenos was once a baby in the cradle, innocent and pure. He was made into a creature that lived only for death, not born one. "20 years of Imperial rule have left Ala Mhigo torn and bleeding. It won't be easy to heal a generation's worth of wounds, to bridge the gap. But I won't give up, Papalimo. I won't.
Nice they mentioned Papalimo there.
Because I remember the price of freedom. I remember the smoke, and the ashes, and the blood. I remember the screams, and the silence. And I'll do whatever it takes to honor their sacrifice, to build a home for us all. I promise you. This is the end. The end of the Imperial province of Ala Mhigo, and the rebirth of Ala Mhigo, the free nation. Long may she endure.
Very nice. Very nice. We've completed Stormblood. All right. Much as I love to give honor to everybody who's worked on these expansions, because they've all put an enormous amount of work into making these expansions as successful as they have. I'm going to skip through them because it can take hours sometimes to get through all of them all. So, yeah, these voice actors are fantastic. Oh, I didn't know Luke Allen Gale, who does Zenos' voice, also did Carvalane. Magni was fun. So was Sadu. Alright. We're going to skip. There are cutscenes.
Well, well, well. What a fine mess we've made. All but spent feeding that primal, eh? Well, you won't be making any mischief with that amount of ether. Still, better safe than sorry. There ends your hateful legacy.
I'd forgotten about the eyes. Where's those Galvuses? It's over. My condolences for your loss. A father should not outlive his son. What nonsense. Elizabeth says, "You do not mourn his loss. You surprise me, your radiance. He was your son and heir, and an irreplaceable test subject." Vera says, "I know what he was. Monsters are not made for thrones." Nor are stars made to sustain false gods who sup on their very essence. Icons summoned by desperate savages who hearken to the whispers of shadowless charlatans. Elizabeth says, "Should you raise a hand against my black-robed brethren, I will not stop you. Our desires are one and the same. Preservation. Restoration." Vera says, "Compression. Resurrection. All is in service to your one true God. And when the sundered shards are made whole, will there be a place for us mere mortals?" Elizabeth says, "Doubt my claims and question my motives if you will, your radiance. You will come to trust me in time. Until then, mayhap you will find this reassuring." How dare you? Not quite sure what that means, but we'll find out. He says, "We did it. We liberated Ala Mhigo. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to feel about it all. Relief, I suppose. Pride. And hope, too. We did it, Father, Ida, Papalimo, Conrad, Mefred, Menphilia. We really did it. Hey, don't feel like you have to stand here listening to me mumble. Everyone else will want to talk to you. You beat him, after all. You're the real hero of the story, so run along and take your plaudits. What else does she have to say? Go and talk to the others. I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Speak with Alfino, Menagerie, Rauban, and Yugiri. Akuro says, when I awoke this morning, I thought Lord Hien dead, and then he lived, and now he is here. It has been a wonderful day. Hien said, it feels like only yesterday that we were celebrating the liberation of Doma. And now look where we are. 1,000 malms apart our nations may be, but in spirit, we are one and the same. Yugiri says, for you to best Zenos, even after he had harnessed the power of a primal, is a testament to your ever-growing strength. Ian says, not bitter to have had your vengeance stolen from you by another? Yugiri says, there is some small regret, perhaps, but that is outweighed by the satisfaction I find in his death. I commend you, G'av. Ian says, as should we all. Zenos was a monster and a tyrant. The man who killed my father and countless other of my countrymen. The world is a better place without him in it. I should also praise Master Alfino for his foresight and restraint. Had he not intervened, I might never have had the pleasure of being reunited with Hakuro and his Lupin brothers. Hakuro says, 'twas a timely intervention. I, full glad am I not to have been burdened with the guilt of killing my Lord Hien's most trusted allies. Yugiri says, ha, indeed, my friend, indeed. What does Whiskar say? We did it! We bloody well did it! I have to send word to Alagana. No, I have to go and tell him myself. Alright, they're clapping for us. Nice. Who sees that the battle may be ended, but the war goes on. Garlemald will not abide such defiance. However, for this day we may rejoice in our victory. Emmerich says, you did well to defeat that fiend, empowered by the eyes I so foolishly ordered you to cast into the Sea of Clouds. What a twisted legacy they have wrought. It's okay. What does Thancred have to say? Menphilia, no. Acilia, Warburton. It will never be enough, I know, but I hope this makes up for it, if only a little. I hope this brings you both joy. You deserve it. And so much more. After all we've been through, I really should know better than to worry, but as ever, the relief I felt upon finding you hale and whole in the royal menagerie well nigh reduced me to tears. The warrior of light, victorious again. I should be just surprised if some small part of you had not come to resent the title and the responsibilities which accompany it. You must forgive us if we call you hero when you accomplish heroic feats. But as the warrior of light goes, so goes the world. You should take pride in the good you have done and in the good you have inspired others to do. Thancred said, you are a natural-born leader of men, G'av. All these people weren't just following their commanders, they were following you. And you led them to victory, to freedom. Alas, not everyone could see the journey through to its end, but history shall remember them, and the glorious future they made possible. Does he have anything else to say? Nope. Okay, let's see if Alfino has anything new. Alize will surely regret that she was unable to join us for this battle. I, meanwhile, will not. Can you believe it? We won! We beat the bastards! Ala Mhigo! Ala Mhigo! Sorry, I got a bit carried away there, didn't I? It's hard not to, you know? We owe it to the friends we buried to shout, scream, and cheer with all our hearts. I want them to know it wasn't for nothing. That it's finally over and they can rest in peace. You hear that, lads? We'll be all right. We'll be... Oh, bugger, not again. I'm so bleeding happy I could cry. Do you have anything else? Sorry. Must be something in my eye. Or both eyes. 7 hells. Tia says, I know it's different for him and the other Ala Mhigans. For us, it's a great victory, but for them, it's homecoming. Jamoldva says, I did not know how or when, but I knew in my heart that I would return here one day. Here's to the ones who didn't. Arnvald says, Abba, Pauli, I wish you were here to see it. Pippin says, I've trained with countless weapons, but none compared to Tizona. That father saw fit to honor me in this way still fills my heart with pride. 7 hells, is it true? Did you really best Zenos and that bastard Primal? Just you and 7 stalwart adventurers whom you had the wisdom and foresight to recruit? No wonder they call you a bleeding hero. Our bloody campaign is ended and we may begin to return home. That said, our work is far from finished. We've yet countless wounded to tend to. Not to mention prisoners of war. Urianger says, Our convalescing comrades have been informed of our victory. Thou mayest be assured that there was much rejoicing. And there was much rejoicing. It's a takeoff on Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to. It is rated R for a reason. But, so it's... If you have kids around, you might want to do the censored version, right? But it's a great movie. Lots of fun. So he's saying our healing friends have been informed of the victory, and you can be assured that they were very happy about it. All right, Rauban. The hero of the hour. I suppose we'll have to add Liberator to your titles. With their commander fallen, the remainder of the 12th chose to surrender to our forces. After 20 long years, it's official. The occupation is ended. But now the hard work starts. Though the people have had their fill of kings, there is no clear consensus on what sort of government they would prefer instead. Pippin says, Indeed, Father. Momentous as this achievement may be, the road which lies before us is no less uncertain than the one we have walked. Aye. Yet if we can overcome 2 decades of oppression, I've no doubt we can find a way forward. Thank you, G'av, for helping to make this dream a reality. Okay, back to Lys. Oh, let's see if Slightly says. Battle's won, but our return to Limbs and Lemons will have to wait until we've sorted out the aftermath. If I could but step through a magical door into the drowning wench. Yep. Keeper of the Entwined Serpents, Doma was only the beginning. With our victory here, we send a message to all the provinces. They can be beaten. You can be free. Kanye Senna says, Praise be to the 12 for your victory. Though many brave souls gave their lives this day, we take comfort in the knowledge it was not in vain. Storm Marshal says, mayhap I got a bit carried away, but by the Navigator, that was bloody brilliant. Rovib says, Well done, Captain Tia. I'll spare you more flowery words. Doubtless you've had your fill of them. No, you can keep going. You really can keep going. Finished your rounds. Great. In that case, I'd like you to come with me back to Rauger's Reach. Not for a rematch or anything, sadly. I want to call all the scions together. I'll explain later. I don't even know where to begin.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we? I can't thank you enough. There's something I need to say to you all. That is, if you have a moment. Good. You're all here. Good. Thank you doesn't really suffice, does it? I'm grateful. Truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. But I know you didn't fight so hard just to hear me or anyone else say that. You fought because you wanted to help, because you believed it was right, because you're scions. Now, I'm obviously a scion, but as Conrad left me in charge of things here, I also have responsibilities to Ala Mhigo. When I put it like that, though, I realized I couldn't even pretend to be impartial anymore. So it seemed best to make it official. As long as I serve Ala Mhigo, I can't be a scion. It might be selfish and short-sighted, but that's my decision.
Really wasn't
Am I
a
to
surprise.
understand that you summoned us all, some of us still nursing wounds, to hear this?
Oh, I didn't,
Forgive me, Lise. 'Twas but a jest. But this I say with the utmost sincerity. Scion or no, we are comrades, now and ever after. Is that not so? There you have it. Come what may, you may count on us in your hour of need. We shall never refuse you.
Stola. Oh, gods. I swore I wouldn't cry.
Come back here, you slippery little devil.
It's Gozetsu.
What greater proof of a man's lingering mortality than an empty belly? A fate worse than death. Fie on it. To have arrived at the appointed place and time only to survive by mere force of habit. Truly, the Kami are not finished yet. Oh, capricious fortune. How you test me with this wretched soul.
They both survived, my goodness. This is indeed the work of either Shinryu or Omega. And since there is undeniably something down there radiating a massive amount of energy, which cannot very well be the late Viceroy's lap dragon, yes, I think we have our suspect. Well, this is a mess of our own making, so it falls to us to clean it up. Won't be easy, but is it ever? And now comes the part where you say you've got no choice but to divert company resources and employees to this pet project of yours. Lost profits and belligerent clients be damned. That's Jesse. Financial considerations notwithstanding, you have to admit there is an unquantifiable benefit in giving our people the opportunity to study such advanced technology. Oh? Is that before or after you blow it up or seal it away? Fine, fine. But the moment I judge this little venture an unsustainable risk to the ironworks, I'm ending it, savvy? And to keep you honest, using my authority as deputy president, I've gone ahead and brought in a consultant, a master engineer and mechanical genius. You didn't. Guess who joined us? Come now, you mustn't build their expectations too high. It will be less dramatic when I surpass them. Oh no, absolutely not. This is not happening. Nero Tolskeva, eager to begin his first day as a loyal member of the Ironworks team. Looking forward to working with you, Garland. All right. You fell the hunter, but what of the hound? So rose the children, but what of the father? All right. Mount speed in Shirogane has increased. All right. We are going to end it there. We have finished the Stormblood expansion. All right. And look forward to the post-expansion quests that take us from Stormblood into Shadowbringers. It's one of my favorite expansions. I'm gonna give you a cat joke real quick. What is a cat's favorite movie? The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music. All right. Such a bad one. They're all bad, but that one's bad. All right. If you're enjoying the content, help us out. Give a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that jazz. You know what to do and when to do it. And we will see you next time as we move forward from Stormblood into the patch quests that lead us into Shadowbringers. I'm really excited about these. So. MamaCatGamer signing out. You have a great one, cats and kittens.